Yeah, that's a going. That's exactly how you want it to look. So now you get to have broccoli cheese soup again. Isn't that amazing? Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. I am Chef Stacey with Simply Pure, and thank you for taking the time to join us on this 30-day vegan challenge. Now what we decided to do was go ahead and do a couple of videos for you so we can show you some of the products, show you some of the techniques that you're going to be using for these next 30 days, and so we can make this super simple for you. So the first thing we're going to show you is the broccoli cheeseless soup. It is absolutely amazing, so let's get ready. So now for our broccoli cheese soup, we have our ingredients here, but I'm going to go ahead, you need a big stock pot, or a pot like this size, to make sure that you can fit everything inside of there. So this is my special Rachel Ray pot. I'm going to let that heat up just a little bit. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and put in a couple of tablespoons of oil. Now as far as cooking oil is concerned, you can use any cooking oil that you want. I know that a lot of people probably have vegetable oil or they have canola oil, but I like cooking with coconut oil and avocado oil. Avocado oil tends to be a little bit pricier, but it has a high smoke point, and so does unrefined coconut oil. But you can also use canola oil if you must, or vegetable oil or something like that, but I prefer if you use cleaner oils. Okay, so we have our 2 tablespoons of oil in here. We're just going to heat that up a little bit, and then we're going to drop in our onions and garlic and get it all smelling good in here. So here's chopped onion. And you should be following your recipe, but this is about a medium, well, it's like a half of a medium onion. And this is the thing, guys, too. When you're doing these recipes, feel free to switch them around, do whatever you want. If you want to add a little bit more, add a little bit less. Just, you know, you kind of got to go with what you feel. That's the thing about cooking. It's about the feeling. So there you go. This is perfect. So we have the onions going. And then I have my minced fresh garlic. And so I think on your recipe it says 2 teaspoons of garlic. I personally like more garlic, so this is way more than 2 teaspoons. This is more like 2 tablespoons. Maybe I won't put in that much. No, you know what? I'm going to put in all of it because I'm a garlic girl. I love garlic. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my wooden spoon. I prefer wooden spoons. And I'm going to go ahead and just saute this for about 3 minutes. On medium-high heat. Now, I always tell people this. If you don't know how to cook, and this is like your first introduction to cooking, and you want to impress somebody, let's say you're a woman and you want to impress a guy, right? And he's coming over and you don't know how to cook. You could go to the store and buy some stuff, put it in your own containers. I know some people that have done this before. Put it on your own plates, whatever. Get a pot. Cook some onions and garlic, maybe throw some ginger in there and get your house smelling good, and then when he walks in, he's going to think that you threw down in the kitchen. That's just my little trick. Not saying that I do that, because I can actually cook, but I'm just saying. Alright, so we got that going here. It smells so good. Like Rachel Ray always says, wish we had smell-o-vision so you guys could smell this. And like I said, guys, also for the garlic, you know they sell the garlic in like the little packages that you can get like that's already minced, or they sell it in like a tube or a can or a jar or something. Just get fresh garlic. Like really, it makes a difference to me in the taste, because there's no additives or anything inside of the garlic. So fresh is always best to me. These recipes that we provided for you are like super clean, most of them. So, and oh, and this is another thing. If y'all don't want to cook with oil, you can actually saute in water. Now, I personally prefer oil, but if you want to be oil-free, then feel free to make this an oil-free recipe, and you can saute your onions and garlic in water. You just don't have that same smell, but you'll definitely get like almost the same effect. So, all right, the next thing we're going to do is add our potatoes and carrots. So we have potatoes here. And these are potatoes. These are just regular like white potatoes that I cut up, and I'm going to put in here with the garlic and onion. Ooh. And then we also got some carrots going. I'm going to put the carrots inside here also. All right. Then you want to get that all mixed up. Actually, before I start mixing, I'm going to throw some salt in here. Now, for the salt, this is Himalayan pink sea salt. You can use, this is actually the healthiest salt to use, but it's very salty. So when you are using your recipe, if you're using Himalayan pink salt, you may need to reduce the amount of salt by a little bit, because this tends to be a little bit saltier than regular sea salt. All right, just so you guys know. We got that all mixed up. And then I'm also going to throw some pepper in here. Gotta open this up. This is my ultimate spice cabinet. Got some serious spices going on in here. So pepper, and I'm going to pull out my bay leaves too. So I think I want to do a couple bay leaves in here. I don't even think that's on your recipe. So this is the beauty about looking at the video, is that you get extra tips that you don't get when you just follow the recipe. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3 bay leaves. That should be enough. You got that all going. Now if we had some celery to throw in here, we would call this the ultimate mirepoix. I don't know if you all heard of that term before, but basically mirepoix is like onions, celery, carrots, and it's a base for most like soups, especially vegetable soups and things like that. All right, so we got that going, and grab some water, and I got 2 cups of water. I'm going to pour the water in here. You don't want to use your vegetable broth just yet. You want to use water first to go ahead and cook your vegetables. So this is perfect amount of water. If you look, it's just the amount that we need to kind of cover the vegetables. If you need more or less, because sometimes your potatoes might be bigger, your carrots might be bigger. The recipe calls for 4 medium carrots. Make sure that they're like smaller medium carrots, because I used 2 what I thought were medium carrots, and I thought this was plain. So again, you just kind of got to adjust the recipe how you feel. But if you use more or less carrots, it's really not going to affect the entire taste of your soup. So let me go ahead and get a lid for this, and we're going to let this simmer. These vegetables go ahead and get soft. We're going to simmer them for about 15 minutes, and then we'll come back to it. And we are done. This is our carrot and potato mixture. And these handles are not hot. That means these are really good pots. And we're going to go ahead and put this right here. I am going to take out my bay leaves. You already got the flavor from those, and you kind of don't want to blend those. They're not, you can't chew them. So just make sure that you take them out. All right. And then the next thing we want to do is go ahead and start putting this into the blender and blending it in batches. So just know this, everyone. This blender and this, you're not going to be able to put, because on your recipe, I think it says that you can blend everything at one time. You're not going to be able to blend all of this at one time, just so you know. So you want to add a little bit at a time. We'll add some broth. As long as it all gets blended, it's fine. But the reason why you don't want to, you can let this cool some if you want, but you don't have to. So one thing you want to do though, if you do not let it cool, then you have to make sure that you're only filling the blender like halfway, because if you fill it all the way and you turn this on, it will explode on you and it will not be pretty because it's hot. So just make sure that you are starting off blending low. Now, blender. My favorite blender is the Vitamix. I'm sure a lot of you know that. If you come to my cooking classes before, you know that I always use the Vitamix. Yes, this is a $400 blender. The price of a small car payment. Well, actually, that's a pretty good car payment. But actually, it's a really good investment. And I like the Vitamix because it just blends the best to me. I mean, some people swear by Blend Tech, and I don't even know if they're what the other ones, I guess NutriBullet or whatever, but to me, the Vitamix is the best. And there are a lot of benefits just to this blender, and you can keep foods hot. You can actually make soup in here without the soup being hot first, because we actually could have made this soup, well, not with the potatoes, maybe with the carrots and the broccoli. We could have just blended it if you wanted like a raw soup. You can make raw soups in here. So what I'm going to do is turn this on. I'm actually going to put a towel over this as well. So again, if this is hot, you kind of want to take these extra precautions just to make sure that you don't burn yourself. One thing that's super important also is that you want to make sure that you're blending this on low first, and then you slowly walk it up to high. Do not start this blender on high, otherwise it'll explode as well. Okay, so I'm giving you those tips. So if it explodes on you, go ahead and turn my blender on low. See, it's all the way turned down to 1. Gonna flip the on button, and then gonna walk it up. Alright, and I'm gonna turn it off. I didn't actually turn it all the way up to high. I just turned it, like, because you can always turn this up to high, but I didn't do that because it's not necessary. And make sure you take off the top off slowly. See that? You can hear all the, ooh, that looks so good. And we're gonna go ahead and get our bowl and start putting the mixture inside of here. Look at that beautiful color. Okay, and we're going to do the rest of our carrots and potatoes. If you want to leave a couple of chunks of carrots and potato, feel free to do so. Alright, so I'm going to put the rest of that in there. And then I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients. So I have vegetable broth here, guys. This is the low sodium one. You want to get the low sodium if you can with this vegetable broth, because the sodium one is super high in sodium. Like, I didn't realize how high it was until I looked at them the other day when I was shopping. But honestly, this is one of the best vegetable broths I've ever had. I'm not going to use it for this recipe just for like time's sake, because this is a paste. So you actually have to add water to this. And if you're like in a time crunch or whatever, which really is not that big of a deal, you can always just get this one, or you can make your own vegetable broth, of course, by boiling vegetables. That's another video. But this better than bouillon seasoned vegetable base is the best bouillon on the planet. I love it. It only costs, I think this whole recipe, when I priced it out, was like maybe $8 to $10 or something like that. Like nothing. It costs nothing. So what I'm going to do is put my vegetable broth in here. This is almost like the whole carton, but it says 4 cups. So we're going to do our 4 cups. But 1 carton is about 4 cups. All right, just so you guys know. Okay. Yeah, there we go. See, perfect. 4 cups, 1 carton. And I like that brand, Pacific. Pacific is pretty good. So we're going to put, not all of it. We'll put like some of it in there. But we will go ahead and put our cashews in, and we'll put some onion and garlic powder. And honestly, it doesn't matter which, our onion and garlic powder, and then we put paprika. And honestly, it doesn't matter which like order you put this in the blender, as long as everything in the recipe gets in the blender and into this bowl, because we're actually going to end up mixing it anyway. And I'm going to put nutritional yeast. And I didn't want to put all of the liquid because I'm not sure. And again, I don't want to fill this all the way up with liquid, so I'm just doing it in batches. But it says that on your recipe too. You want to make sure you do this in batches. I'm going to turn this back on. And you can add salt too. I'm not going to add more salt because I added salt to the carrot and potato mixture. So I just kind of want to taste it before I add salt. I'm a little salt sensitive. So again, start on low. Start on 1. We're gonna walk it up. Turn it back down. Turn that off. Good to go. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and pour this in here. That's actually a pretty good consistency. And it smells great. So now we're gonna transfer this back over to the pot. You wanna go ahead and pour your mixture back into the pot. Look at all of that creamy goodness. Looks just like cheese soup, huh? Broccoli and cheese. Well, we gotta put the broccoli in. Set this to the side. We're gonna go ahead and turn this back on. And this time you wanna put it on like a low, like a medium low kind of heat. Because the soup is basically already cooked. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of my vegetable broth. That was just too much vegetable broth to put in the blender for me at one time, but you know, again, if you feel like you want to do it like that, you want to put it all in the blender at the same time, or if you let the vegetables cool down first, then it shouldn't be a problem. So this is like a perfect consistency, guys. Look at that. That's the consistency that you're aiming for. If you want your soup thicker, you can do your soup thicker, but I like that consistency. So the last thing we want to do is put in our broccoli. This is what makes the flavor come out. So the great thing about broccoli is the reason why we didn't put it in the beginning is because each vegetable has a cook time. So broccoli does not have a long cook time. And so that's why I went ahead and added it last, because honestly you need to cook the broccoli for maybe 5 to 7 minutes and it's done. I like my broccoli a little bit crunchy and still have some yield to it, so that's why. And then feel free to put as much broccoli or as little as you want inside of here. I think that's enough. Oh no, we need a little bit more. That's not enough. So the great thing about this recipe, again, the cashews give it that creamy consistency. The nutritional yeast gives it the cheesy consistency. The carrots give it the color. There's just so much goodness coming into here. And it's all plant-based. That's what I love about this. I'm going to put a little bit more broccoli in. Got it? Yeah, buddy. All right, and so what we're gonna do is put the top back on and we're gonna let this simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we'll check on the consistency of the broccoli to make sure that the consistency is what we want, and then we're good to go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our soup is done. Our broccoli is perfectly cooked. We've had this on the stove for about, we had it on simmer, so you can turn it up a little bit if you want. The only thing is if you do increase the temperature on this, you have to watch it to make sure that the bottom doesn't burn. But yeah, I had a little bit of time, so I simmered it for about 10 minutes. And again, I like my broccoli to be a little bit crunchy. I don't want it to be super soft. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off and remove it from the heat in a second. But I want to show you guys this. So this is liquid aminos. This is a low sodium soy sauce, and you're going to see this a lot throughout your recipes for the 30-day challenge. This is something you definitely want to invest in. It's a low sodium soy sauce. It does not take the replacement of soy sauce. Like, well, for example, soy sauce does not take the replacement of this. You want to make sure that you get this instead. So I'm going to put about, this is not on your recipe. So again, you're watching the video, you get a few tips. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of liquid aminos in here just to lift the flavor a little bit. And then I didn't add any additional salt, so I'm going to put in about about a teaspoon of Himalayan sea salt. And that should be good. Again, you can adjust it how you want, but I think that that should be pretty tasty. Okay, so you're gonna mix that, and then you can go ahead and taste it if you want. You'll be good to go. So I'm gonna move the pot over again. Candles aren't hot. Move it over here. And I'm gonna pour up my soup, y'all. So I'm taking a little measuring cup and putting the soup into the bowl. Look at that. Look how amazing that looks. Color, everything, amazing. I love it. I want some more broccoli in mine. I love broccoli, one of my favorite vegetables. My son actually eats broccoli too, which is good for a child his age considering he's 2. But he calls them trees. He does not call it broccoli. I was like, I want trees, mommy. And then I'm gonna end this with a little bit of lemon juice. So I have fresh lemon here. If you have lemon juice that's in a jar or whatever they serve lemon juice in, you can use that too, but to me fresh is always better. So I'm going to roll it a little bit. When you roll it in your hands or on the cutting board first, then it gives the lemon a little bit of give. That way you can cut it easier and it's easier for the juice to come out. So I'm going to cut that in half, and this is my lemon squeezer thingy contraption. You want to turn this like this. Most people do not do this properly. They turn the lemon like this. This is not how you use this, okay? Just so you guys know. You turn this upside down. Don't worry about the seeds falling in because the holes are not big enough really for seeds. But you want to make sure you turn this upside down. And then you squeeze. Ooh, just a little bit. You don't need a whole lot. But I would definitely add lemon juice to this. And then I'm going to top this with some... This is the Daya shredded cheese. I'm okay with a little bit of Daya, however you want to say it. That's a vegan cheese. And then I have some fresh parsley. And voila, you have your soup. So I'm gonna go ahead and taste it. Yum. I'm so excited. It was hot. Gotta blow it. Oh yeah, that's delicious. Delicious. And there you have it.